Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today is my 5-6 week update. I'm somewhere in the middle of 5 and 6 weeks. I recently, I've taken 2 wedges out now. So starting at about week 4.5, I took the first wedge out, and then a couple days ago, around week 5.5, I took another wedge out. And from this point, I'm supposed to be taking 1 wedge out per week until I get back to 90 degrees in the boot. Week 4 and 5 have been, 4, 5, and 6. 4 started off a little rough. I could walk a little bit, had a crutch, was kind of limping on it still. At this point now, I'm closer to 6 weeks now than 5 weeks, and I've pretty much ditched the crutch. If I'm walking through like my yard with pits and uphill and stuff like that, I'll still use the 1 crutch on my good side to support when I transfer my weight. But as long as I'm on flat ground, and I'll show you how I'm walking in a little bit here, just so you can see what the progress looks like. I'm walking pretty well. I bought a EVENup. It's a little rubber sole, well, thick rubber sole that kind of hooks onto your shoe to level out your height, because this boot, as you can see, is super thick. So you're kind of like always at a tilt, and it gets really annoying when you're walking. The EVENup helps. You still have to like limp on it and kind of you walk weird, but I'll say that it's really refreshing to be walking somewhat normally again, and to be walking without pain. So I'm limping when I walk, but that's mostly because of, or it's entirely because of the boot. But the boot is the reason that it doesn't hurt when I walk. So and I'm not going to injure myself, because it stops you from dorsiflexing and injuring that fragile tendon. But my physio told me that early weight bearing within the boot is what is going to make the tendon heal properly. It's not going to heal long, and it'll heal strong. So I'm trying to get around. For the first time in 5 weeks, I was cleaning the house, doing some dishes, cooking dinner, just normal everyday things, which was pretty refreshing. I'm certainly not ready to go run a marathon or do anything like that, but life is returning to normal somewhat, and that's really great. And I've seen a lot of people who talk about their stories and their time frames, and I feel like from talking with my physio that I'm pretty much just right in the middle. I'm not ahead of schedule, I'm not behind schedule. Everything's just going fine, and that's perfect for me. There's definitely light at the end of the tunnel. So now that we're 5-6 weeks in, I can definitely see how I'm gonna heal, it's gonna be fine. I'm gonna return back to normal. I can move my foot again, which is just glorious. Wiggling my toes doesn't hurt. All that kind of little stuff. The little stuff is returning. I'm able to do workouts and stuff, and I'll post some. I have some videos that I took at physical therapy of some of the exercises they have me doing. We're kind of working on, not so much, we can't really help the tendon heal. That's just going to happen. But I'm working on the quad atrophy and the calf muscle atrophy. And for me personally, the quad has been the one that was most heavily hit. My calf muscle's like somewhat atrophied, but my quad, to me, I don't know what other people think when they look at it, but to me it looks like a chicken leg. And that's a bummer. But you know, I'm starting to be able to work on exercises to get that, you know, back to normal. So to me, this is the point where you can really start to focus on getting better. You're not just like sitting there like a lump anymore. So yeah, not much else going on. You know, like I said, I'm going to show you how I walk and a couple of the exercises, and then you can compare that to how you're doing, and you know, kind of use it as a baseline. And because like I said, I'm middle of the road. I don't think I'm ahead or behind, so that's what I'm told. So yeah. All right, so this is the EVENup that I mentioned, and it's really designed for a normal shoe, but I wear these Zero shoes, which have no heel drop in them. They're just a flat sole. I like these a lot better than normal shoes, but that's neither here nor there. So they are still a little bit, it's just not enough height to make up for the whole boot right now, but it's still way better than just being in a barefoot or just a shoe or a regular shoe. So you just slide it in here. Well, you know, I'm gonna put the shoe on first and then do it. I find that to be easier. And this thing is a game changer. They also sell shoes that have it already built in, but this was like 30 bucks, so it's totally fine. It's that simple. And I don't know if it really comes out in the video, but it feels easier. It's not as awkward because I'm not like this the whole time. And I think if you're gonna do a lot of walking, you should probably get one of these, because walking all crooked like that for a long period of time is gonna mess you up. So I definitely recommend getting one of these. Alright, so at 5 weeks, I was still using this crutch. Earlier on in the 5 weeks, more towards the end of 4, I was really using this crutch. It felt really weird to walk normally, and I was like really leaning on it and doing this kind of thing. That kind of quickly morphed into using it a little bit and just kind of hobbling on it. The thing is, the physical therapist told me they really, by 5 weeks, they want me putting 100% weight on that foot. So that means being able to transfer all of my weight while I'm walking like this. So I really made a commitment, even though it felt super awkward to get to that point. And now I can just put this down, and you know, it's weird because you're so much higher over here, but I'm able to put all my weight on that foot and it feels really good. It's quite secure in the boot, and unless I'm on uneven ground, I don't really need this crutch, and I can even go upstairs, which is pretty cool. So, you know, you have this to look forward to around 5 weeks if you just got started on this. So it's really not that long before you can kind of get back to your life. 5 weeks does seem like a long time, but the healing process is going to take 8 to 12 months. But as long, for me, as long as I'm able to stand, do general household chores and get around, I feel like it's not so bad. You know, we'll get back to our sports and stuff, but this is pretty good here. I can get around pretty easily, I think. So yeah, hang in there. If you just injured your Achilles, just wait for the 5 week mark, because I feel like things really take a turn for the better at that point. If you have any questions or comments, post them below and I'll get back to you. Good luck on your healing journey, and I hope everything works out perfectly for you and you heal great. See you on the next one.